You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome into the Outspoken Sportscast. This is your host Brian, going solo on the Friday. Let's get it. Let's go. Got a lot to get into today. We got the top games of the week for you for the NFL Week 7 already. Week 7, I can't believe it. We got your NCAA schedule coming up this week. We got some good games just like last week. We got MLB playoffs. We've got the headlines of the week as well. All on the other side of this, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome in. It's episode 163, NFL Week 7 edition. We're already heading into the NFL Week 7, and I want to know how your teams are doing. First and foremost, I do want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to listen to this podcast. If you're watching live now, I appreciate you. If you want to tune in and comment live, you can do so on our YouTube page, Outspoken Sportscast. Come find us. I would love to interact with you on live. If not, you can catch us later on the podcast show. Week 7 is here, guys, and I continue to believe this is the weirdest year we've had in sports, in football, trying to predict games, trying to predict the teams, and just going into the season. And it's been an interesting one. We have a lot of mediocre football. If you go look at the standings, and maybe we'll get into that in a little bit here, but I found 3 good games for you in the NFL this week. There's not a whole lot of slobber knockers out there or tough matchups, I don't believe, but it's any given Sunday, and that's why it's why we love this game, is anybody can win each week and go from there. But I got 3 games for you this week to look forward to in Week 7. I got first the Chiefs traveling to the 49ers. The Chiefs are a powerhouse. They are in the top 2 in your power rankings, and if they're not, then you've got them wrong. This team is a dominant football team. Patrick Mahomes has looked like he's missed no time away from Tyreek Hill, and this offense is rolling. Now, they did lose they played the Bills and lost to them, but that was a good game. It's 24-20. They ended up losing that one. They play the 49ers this week, and the 49ers are a team that are very interesting. They play hard defense. They run the ball a lot. Their coach, I really like their head coach. I think their head coach is really brilliant in the way he plays up. He draws up plays. But they're inconsistent at times. They lose to the Falcons. It's like, what is going on here? They go and beat the Rams, and the Rams haven't looked very good either. But it's a game a lot of people thought maybe the Rams would win. This one should be an easy pick, though. I mean, and no pick has been easy this year, granted, but this pick should be the Chiefs. 49ers did make a trade. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Maybe that helps him out. I don't know if he plays this week, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I got the Chiefs winning this one, though, traveling to the San Francisco and the Bay Area. Number 2, I got the Steelers at the Dolphins. This one should be pretty good. Now, I don't know if Kenny Pickett's going to be back for this one. He went out in last week's game as they went on to beat the Bucs. He played pretty good last week. You got to remember, he is a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. But for what I see so far, is he's not afraid to throw the football. When they give him the opportunity, he's throwing the ball downfield, which is a really good sign for Pittsburgh. Their defense is going to keep them in games. They beat the Bucs last week. Trubisky did enough to win, and they honestly got a couple third down conversions, big last week in the fourth quarter to kind of run out the clock. One was 3rd and 16, and the other one was 3rd and 11, and they didn't give the ball back to Tom Brady because you know what happens when you give the ball back to Tom Brady. So they were able to keep it out of his hands and pick up the victory there. Tua Tagovailoa is coming back from Miami. I think he's going to come back on a mission. You know, this team looked really good when he was in there. New head coach. They had Tyreek Hill. They added some additions on this football team, and we were wondering if Tua Tagovailoa was the guy. Right? We had these question marks, and when we talked about it before the season started, I said who had the most pressure coming into the season, and my number one guy was Tua because he had no more excuses. This offense has weapons. He got a new head coach that actually believes in him. And they have a solid defense. They can win games, and they should win games. And they looked really good until he went down. I think he comes back, and I got them winning this game. Tough game to come back against a tough defense, the Steelers, but they're at home. And Pittsburgh's offense, I don't think is going to do too good. Regardless of who's playing, the Miami's defense will be able to get to the backfield. Give me Miami to take this one at home. And then the third game I found, and I don't think, and I only picked this one because it's a rivalry. The Browns travel to Baltimore, and the Browns have not been good this year. All right, they just haven't. You know, all what's been going on with the Browns and the quarterback they decided to take, and Deshaun Watson, and horrible situation that was, and him being suspended. I believe Deshaun Watson's actually practicing now. It's been, or no, is he practicing? I think he was cleared to actually practice, but he's not cleared to play yet, or enter the facility, something like that. I saw something break down the other day, but he's obviously not playing. He's suspended still, but the Browns are 2-4. The Ravens are 3-3. This is a game that the Ravens, I think, need to win. You cannot fall down. You cannot lose this game and be the same record as the Cleveland Browns, who have not played really good this year. They've been so up and down and inconsistent. But this is a rivalry game. This is a divisional game. So it should be pretty close. I think closer than a lot of people think. I did pick Baltimore to win this one, but I do not trust Baltimore as far as I can throw them. They're not a trustworthy team. Lamar Jackson, to me, is not a trustworthy quarterback, and this team seems to give up leads. So I don't trust this team. I think whoever controls the ball the most will win this football game. The Browns could easily win this game, I think. You know, they have an opportunity. They control the ball. They control the clock. They run the football really well. Can they contain Lamar Jackson from running the football? Can they contain Mark Andrews? It's all going to come down to those key factors. But I got the Ravens winning this one as well. This year has been insane, though. Let me pull up the standings here real quick because this is just crazy. Okay, the Bills we thought were going to be good. No one thought the Jets are going to be 4-2, and everyone's making fun of my team last week because we lost to the Jets. We got dominated by the Jets, and I'm making fun of my own team. Packers look crappy right now. Jets are 4-2. That defense looks really good. They played a good football game. Their special teams got after it. Zach Wilson isn't throwing 5 interceptions a game. He's taking a little bit of a jump there. Let's see if he can continue that. They have a good draft this last season. Sauce Gardner looks to be the real deal. No one could have told me that the Jets would have been 4-2. Then you got Miami in that division, who's also tough. Ooh, good question. Sorry, I do have a comment here. Derpy Gaming says, so you want Claypool. There's been some talk about Packers maybe going after Claypool. I would only do it if it's cheap. And from what I heard earlier, a report that said they're going to want the same type of haul that the Panthers got for McCaffrey, and I'm not willing to give that kind of compensation for Claypool. I don't think. Now, look, he's better than what we got on our roster, but I just don't think that's enough of a game changer to give up 4 draft picks for a wide receiver. If you're going to give up 4 draft picks, I would like to get somebody else. Now, I don't know who you're going to get. Packers usually don't make that type of move, right? We're the team that sits back and kind of makes way with what we got. I wish they would go out and make a move. And the fan base can't complain and bitch about it, though, if they make a move and we feel like the compensation was maybe too much, because at least they do something. We always complain about them not doing anything, and you can't complain if what they go get. But he would be a nice addition. I just don't think he's enough to get over the edge. And right now, we've got to have something. Our Ricky Watson's have been injured a lot. Randall Cobb is injured. We're missing a lot of players on the offensive side of the football. It's not going to make this team any better. But thank you, Derpy Gaming, for jumping in there. Let me know what you think. You guys can comment live on YouTube. But I was talking about this year's being insane. I'm trying to pick these games. The Bengals don't look very good to me. The Rams don't look very good to me. The whole Ravens AFC North division is up for grabs. 3-3 and 2-4 is all the whole division. You got the Titans, Colts, and Jags who still are in their division. That division's just garbage. They're probably one and done in the playoffs. The division we thought was going to be the best in the history of football, the AFC West, turns out to be 2 teams. Chiefs and Chargers. The Broncos are sounding the panic alarm over there. Russell Wilson, who might not play this week because he's injured. Raiders look pathetic at 1-4. You got the Chargers who 4-2. I don't really trust them. They haven't showed me that they haven't shown me something yet. They got to show me they can go out and blow out the easy teams. They got to blow them away. They're sticking around with teams they shouldn't be sticking around. You got Kansas City, of course. The Eagles are 6-0 still. The Giants, no one would have said was 5-1. That's just crazy. The Vikings are 5-1. Another one that I thought we as Packer fans and the NFC North division, is no one. I mean, I wouldn't expect the Vikings to be 5-1 and leading the division right now. Derby Gaming says the only way I'd trade Claypool is if it's for Jair, maybe Claypool and a couple picks straight up. But I know the Packers faithful. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. We're not trading Jair Alexander. That guy's an absolute shutdown corner. And when our defensive coordinator knows what to do, knows how to use him, he'll look a lot better. But this team is in shambles right now. Green Bay Packers 3-3. We look just lethargic on offense, lethargic on defense. I just don't think, Claypool's a good wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think they're going to give up the compensation that the Steelers are going to want for him. And if I'm not mistaken, Claypool's pretty young too. And you're trying to build that team. You got a rookie quarterback. He's a weapon for him. I just don't know why they would trade him away. But we'll see. Some strange things have happened. A lot of strange things have happened this year. We all thought the Rams would be leading that division. You got 3 teams in the NFC West that are 3-3, and then the Falcons are fighting with the Bucs in the NFC South. So this year's just been a weird year of football. Hard to predict games. Probably one of the strangest seasons I've seen so far. Let's see. I didn't do my pick. Well, I guess Craig did the picks on Tuesday. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the college football because we have a lot of good college football games this week. And I hope you're watching. Last week, if you didn't catch the Clemson-Alabama game, you better go find a replay of it because it was an absolute classic game. Best game. It's probably the best game I've seen all year, NFL and college, and it probably will be the best game I've seen all year. You just don't get a game better than that. Tennessee won, and they tore up the goalpost and carried it down Main Street and threw it into the river. It was absolutely epic, and I would have loved to have been there for that. But this week's schedule, you got number 17, Kansas State traveling to TCU at number 8. Number 8 TCU, they battle, and man, that's my team right there. They were down 15 points last week, came back and won against Oklahoma State, and we bumped us up from out of the top 10 to bumped us up to number 8. So let's see. This Kansas State team's pretty good. They're going to play some good defense. I don't know who wins this game. I think TCU is a good football team. How long are they going to keep being undefeated? I'm not sure. I thought we were going to lose last week. We ended up coming back and winning that game. So we have a lot of fight. Our quarterback looks to be pretty dang good this year, and this defense is playing well. But offensively, we have a juggernaut of a wide receiver, and this team is looking really good. So that ought to be a competitive football game. I could see Kansas State taking it, but I could also see how TCU would win it down the stretch. Number 14, Syracuse travels to number 5, Clemson. Ought to be another pretty good game. Clemson's the heavy favorite here, and I believe they win this game, but that ought to be good. Number 7, Ole Miss. I didn't know Ole Miss was number 7. I didn't see them in the top 10, but they traveled to LSU to play. This one should be pretty good. LSU's a team that's a little underrated. They're not even nationally rated in college, but the weird things go down in Louisiana, and it ought to be a pretty daggum good game. UCLA number 9 traveling to Oregon at number 10 should be as well. We'll see who wins that game and they'll move further up. You got Texas number 20. They are ranked back in the top 25 rankings there. They traveled to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma fell from number 8 to number 11 last week after losing to TCU. This ought to be a closer game than people think. Oklahoma State, they let one slip last week. They should have beat Tennessee. They were up by 15 points. They let that one slip. They're probably beating themselves up for that one, but that was a good football game, and this one should be pretty tough. It depends on what Texas team shows up. They're pretty inconsistent at times. They're going to travel to Oklahoma. That one will be a good football game. And then 24, Mississippi State travels to number 6, Bama. Bama fell after losing to Tennessee last week. And I don't think Bama loses back-to-back games. That would be absolutely crazy if they did. But I think Bama takes this one. But we'll see if Mississippi State can go in there and kind of smell that blood in the water after Bama lost to Tennessee. But I can guarantee you that that defense looks a lot tougher this next week instead of what they allowed last week against Tennessee to score as many points as they did. That's your NCAA schedule there. You know, we got some really good football games this week in NCAA. Not a whole lot with NFL, in my opinion, but as you know, it's any given Sunday and any given football game, you can have an upset and some crazy stuff going on. And trust me, I know this is the easiest part of the schedule for the Green Bay Packers, and we're 0-2 so far in it. So if we lose to the Commanders this week, it'll be all hands on deck, and we will be sounding the alarms in Wisconsin. They will be in Wisconsin. I am in Fort Worth, Texas, but they will be sounding the alarm up there, and we'll see what happens. But the college football schedule there looks to be like we're going to have a good weekend of football to watch. Let's see. Not much of a headlines for the college football. Not too much right now over there, but we do have Craig jumped on Thursday to give you the call or give his hockey hat trick, but his mic was actually not working, so he did a whole 17-minute, 20-minute show with no mic, so he's probably going to jump on tomorrow, hopefully, and pick that up. We got the MLB playoffs, guys. Hopefully you guys are watching the MLB playoffs. They need some viewership, but this is a one-sided show. And the Phillies are surprising us, which is nice to see. When you get to the playoffs, you want to see those upsets. You want to see hard, tough fought games, and the Phillies are actually all tied up 1-1 with San Diego. I believe they play tonight, but they're looking to upset San Diego. There's been a lot of upsets in the bracket so far for the Major League Baseball, and that's what you want to see. You want to see those upsets. Mariners, they should have put up a better fight against the Astros. They did come into it, and they broke the 21-year streak of not making the playoffs, and they beat the Blue Jays, which was an upset. Guardians beating the Rays, which wasn't really an upset, but I just expected the Rays to fight a little bit better. You had the Cardinals losing. You had the Braves losing. You had the Mets losing and the Dodgers losing. And so the National League has been nothing but upsets so far this year. And now you've got a good series of 5 versus 6. And then you have the Astros facing the Yankees. And honestly, I didn't want the Yankees to get past the Guardians, but then I said, well, look, they're the best bet we got to have the Yankees beat Houston. So if the Yankees win, I'm fine with it. Maybe they can put up a fight. Well, they're down 2-0 to Houston. And unless a miracle happens, I don't think anybody's beating Houston. Houston is the best baseball team in the game. They kind of went quiet this year. No one really talked about them. We knew they were going to win their division before the year started. They won 107 games. They were a good baseball team, a really good baseball team. They don't strike out a lot. They pitch. The pitching is absolutely outstanding. They hit the ball over the fence, and this team is just dominant. And I don't think the Yankees are going to win. So it'll probably be Houston and either team that goes, Philly or Padres. I don't think they can beat them. And Houston's looking probably like the easy favorite right now for the championship. And I hate to say it because they cheated and their other ring doesn't count. But if they win this one, I don't really know if I could take it away from them because there's been no signs of cheating or any trash can banging or anything like that. I don't know how you guys view that. I took it personal when they won and we found out they cheated. And you can sit here and say everybody cheats, but they did it on a whole nother level. And I don't count that other ring. History will count it. I put asterisk next to it. But I put asterisk next to the steroid using home run record. So tomato. Now, my big question for the Major League Baseball fans out there, and especially you Yankee fans, is this season considered a failure? If you don't beat the Houston Astros and you lose the ALDS, will you consider this a failure? Does your head coach get fired or your manager? I think he does. I think this would be considered a failure of how many games you've won, what you've looked like this year, all the hype you've got from Aaron Judge's home run record, home run counter, and to have this team have the Yankees are kind of like the Dallas Cowboys. Doesn't matter how good they are, doesn't matter how bad they are, they're going to have a lot of people watching them. They have high expectations every season. And the Yankees make it to the playoffs just about every year, but they haven't really done much in it, right? They haven't done much in the playoffs. And you have a lot more extra hype on you since you have the MVP of the year, Aaron Judge. He broke the AL record. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but he broke that record. And you have all this hype on you, and you come in and you barely beat the Guardians. And right now you're down 2-0. Now I'm not going to say the Yankees can't come back and win the series. I just think it's highly unlikely with the team that Houston Astros have put together, their pitching staff, putting the ball in play. And this team is pretty crazy because not only are they really good, obviously, but they have lost main key players, star players, trade them away, didn't sign them back, and people are going, well, what are you not signing these guys back for? And they just replaced them with other guys that are doing the same job and getting the job done when you're that dominant of a baseball team. So they look really good. Their farm system there in Houston has just Houston used to be the bottom of the pit, and now they are the cream of the crop. And I think they win the World Series this year with unless the Yankees can step it up. But I just think after the season that the Yankees went 99-66, that's a really good record. But if they go in here and they get swept or they lose a series 4-1, I think the manager gets fired and I think they start over. And then they got to start working on getting Aaron Judge to come back. But I think with all the hype from Aaron Judge and the record-breaking year he had and the career year he had, puts a lot more pressure on them to get out and make it to the World Series. And I just think they're going to fall short. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know for you baseball fans out there. So I just don't see anybody beating the Astros, unfortunately. I don't like the Astros. I just don't see it. Let's see. I'm going to give you my picks for week 7 here, and I think Craig gave them to you. I wasn't here on Tuesday. I was in a training for work. I'll go over that in a little bit here, but I wasn't there for the show. But I'm going to go ahead and give you my games, my picks. So I picked the Cardinals to win last night. I didn't know Kyle Murray was going to play. He was a little banged up, but he did play. He did win, so I will count that one as a victory as they beat the Saints 42-34. What a crazy game. They gave up 17 points in the fourth quarter. If Andy Dalton doesn't throw two pick sixes in a row, then you probably win this game. So that gave the Cardinals a little bit of a lead there, and they held on to win that game. I got the Packers taking down the Commanders. Now, if the Packers lose to the Commanders, like I said, it's going to be sound the alarms. Carson Wentz isn't playing. This could be a trap game setup, though, because Carson Wentz isn't playing with a hurt thumb. And they got Tyler Heineke in there, and he does play with a lot of fire, and this could ignite their offense. I'm not sure. This depends on, that's happened before. You see a guy come in, you go, oh, who's this guy? And it lights a spark, and they end up playing a lot better. I got Packers winning this game, though. If they lose, pray for me, guys, because I'll just need your prayers. I'll need your prayers. Falcons travel to the Cincinnati, and this one I was thinking about picking the Falcons because the Falcons have played really well and they've upset some teams and they upset the 49ers last week, and Marcus Mariota's playing decent and his defense is playing good. The Bengals haven't been on par this year, looking like the Super Bowl team they were last season, and they had some of those games last year, but they've looked a lot more dominant last year than they did this year. I got the Bengals winning this game only because they're at home. I think the Falcons put up a fight. I think this is a close one, though. I got Cincy winning this game. Dak Prescott is back for the Dallas Cowboys as they stay at home to face the Lions. And you got to give me Dak Prescott at home against a team that has allowed 45 points a game with that Lions defense. Now, the Lions offense can score points. They are averaging like 28 or more points a game, and they're the third highest of that in that category, even though they put up 0 points last week, so that brought them down quite a bit. Colts traveled to Tennessee to face the Titans. I got the Titans winning that horrible game just because they're at home. Bucks travel to the Panthers. The Panthers are completely in rebuild mode. I don't care what their owner says. Give me the Buccaneers to win that one. Giants take care of business in Jacksonville, Florida. I think they win that game. Browns and Ravens. I got the Ravens winning that game. Give me the Jets to take care of Denver. We don't know if Russell Wilson's playing. I was picking the Jets before I even knew Russell Wilson was injured. Give me the Jets to win this game. That defense is good, and I think Zach Wilson will have a decent game as well. Give me the Raiders to take care of the Houston Texans. I'm not a big believer in the Houston Texans. Chargers take care of Seattle. The Chiefs beat the 49ers. Miami takes care of business at home against the Steelers, and Patriots beat the Bears. So there are my picks for Week 7. Let me know what you guys think. Decent picks, I guess, but I've been off a lot this year, especially recently. So we'll see what happens. I got to take care of business this week because I can't give Craig another win. All right, guys, it is that time for the headlines of the week. All right, guys, we got the headlines of the week here for you. And there's a couple, 3 different things that I took out of this week. And one was the Texas Rangers made a manager hire today. They interviewed Bruce Bochy. I was really excited about that. I didn't know they could pull the trigger. Well, he is the new Rangers manager for the Texas Rangers here in Arlington. And give this man a round of applause because they made a really good decision here. I like this manager. He's a 3-time championship World Series winner, and Bruce Bochy knows how to win. And when you get a winning coach in your organization, he knows how to bring a winning culture. He knows what it takes to win baseball games and compete. And I'm really excited about this. I want baseball to start tomorrow. It's not even over yet this year, but I'm really excited, looking forward to next season, what we're going to do over the off season, what hand does Bochy have in it, and we'll see and go from there. Bochy's, does he have what it takes to turn his team around? Hopefully he does. We've made some moves. We got a young farm system. We've got some guys that can play baseball. We'll see what he does with his team, and we'll see how much power he's going to have and how much money he's going to be able to spend and go all from there. But I really like the pick up for the Texas Rangers and the future of this ball club. Number 2, the NFL blockbuster trade last night is Christian McCaffrey was traded to the 49ers, and the 49ers send their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round pick this season, 2023, or this next year, and a 5th round pick in 2024. McCaffrey goes to the 49ers, and everyone was loving this trade. And I think it's a bad trade for the 49ers. You look at this team, and I can see how, yes, McCaffrey can be used on this football team. You got him and Deebo Samuel. You got some weapons. Mike Shanahan will be able to use McCaffrey like no other coach in the NFL. He'll be able to use them in this package or that package and use them in different ways, and really opens up the creativity he has. And I think that can be deadly. I'm not saying that McCaffrey won't be good there. I'm not saying that the 49ers can't use him in a way that turns out to be great. But giving up 4 picks for a guy who's missed 23 out of his last 33 games is not good. The Carolina Panthers won this trade. I don't care if McCaffrey goes over there and does really good, but they won this trade. They got 4 picks for an injury-prone running back. Excuse me. And I just think it's a bad trade for the 49ers. I just don't think it's going to work out too well. He's injured a lot. But Michael Shanahan, like I said, he's going to be able to get the most out of McCaffrey. I'm not sure if he plays this weekend, but he will be next week, and we'll see what happens. And I like Christian McCaffrey. I think he's an absolute stud when he's on the field. But like I said, we all know his past. We all know his history. He's missed 22 or 23 out of his last 33 games. You gave up 4 draft picks for a running back, and running backs are not as important as as some people think they are. They're just not. And you can find them. You can find them in the draft for cheap. You can get them cheaper, but I just don't like this draft pick for the 49ers. And yes, Carolina, your team is in rebuild mode. You can't tell me they're not. You can't sit here and tell me after trading away your best player that you're not in rebuild mode. You got rid of Robbie Anderson. I think that was probably more of a coach didn't get along with him. They fired their head coach. Coach didn't get along with him. And that's just one of those moves where, okay, well, you're going to disrespect me. They got in a yelling match on the sideline. Then it's going to have to be something else. So let me know what you guys think. I honestly think that they fire their head coach. I think that. Sorry, I'm trying to get the comments on Facebook here. They fire their head coach. They get rid of their best player. This is just one of those moves where, just where this is sell mode. We know it's sell mode. Don't sit here and try and, it's not sell mode because probably no one's gonna buy tickets to your games. You're a bad football team. It is what it is. It happens. The last news I got for you is the Ravens running back again is injured. Dobbins to miss 4 to 6 weeks after he had arthroscopic knee surgery. So he'll miss 4 to 6 weeks. This running back team is always hurt, and that's a bad thing for obviously the Baltimore Ravens. They haven't been all that well this year anyways. So he will be missed there. They can take every piece they can because they're not looking too good right now as a football team and looking too consistent out there on the football field. That is all I got for you as far as headlines and everything else goes. Thank you, Derpy Gaming, for jumping on and giving me some of your thoughts and being a part of the show. And anybody that's taking time to listen to this now, it is that time, though, that I give you the What's in My Locker edition here. And it's been an interesting week, to say the least. I went on training. I wasn't here on Tuesday, so my job has asked me to go on a training for work, a driver safety training, and so I can learn this new training system we're putting out and be the driver trainer for our site. And I was excited about it. I said, of course, I will go. And that was this last week. Monday was a travel day. I got to the hotel about 4:00. For anybody that knows me, my wife knows me really well. I don't do good bored. I just don't. I'm the type of person that can't be alone. I don't do good either on any one of those situations. And I'm down in a city I don't know. It's down in Houston, in the Shenandoah area. It was not like, it was like right before you got to Houston. It was about 3.5 hour drive from here. I drove down there, got there about 4:30. You can't check into hotels till 3:00 these days. And it was, I went to this, I got down there and I didn't know trash men took business trips, right? I'm a garbage man. I didn't know we did business trips. So I get down there and I've told everything will be reimbursed. I just got to pay for it and it'll be reimbursed for me later. I get down there and I call my boss. I go, well, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to be able to watch the football game. I'm usually in bed. I'm usually not able to watch the Monday night football games and Thursday nights and all that stuff like that because I got to go to bed early. But I called them up and said, hey, if I know Twin Peaks is a sports bar and go, they're going to have the game on, lots of TVs. I can try their wings. I've never been there before. I call them up. I'm like, is it okay if I go here? You're going to reimburse that? I don't want it to be a bad look that I went to Twin Peaks. So I didn't end up going. I was like, I just don't want any fuss over it. So I went down to this little place, Casa de Marina's Mexican restaurant, little hole in the wall place. And it was super fantastic. The food was delicious, homemade. It was really delicious. So if you're ever down there, definitely go take a look at that and check it out. It's really good. And then I went home, watched a football game, fell asleep to that. We started work the next day. We did our training. We had breakfast and lunch, and then that night we had a Italian steakhouse in the actual hotel we were staying in, and they fed us. They catered us some steaks and chicken and mashed potatoes and stuff. So we were able to hang out with the actual guys leading the class, and they were real cool people. We had all people from the southern region, from Miami, from Georgia. We had people from Louisiana and all over Texas, and a guy drove down from Arkansas, Lubbock, and down there in Houston as well. So we had a good time. I learned quite a bit. It was a pass or fail type of thing. We had a test the next day. I passed it. I left there at 4:30. Got home at 8:30 that night, and had to be back at work at 6:30 Thursday. So it's been an interesting week. It's been a fun week down there, and I really appreciate my job sending me because I had a good time and learned quite a bit. So I'm going to be working towards that the rest of this week is, just trying to do better at driver training for our site. So that'll be interesting. That'll be a good time. And I'm off tomorrow. They asked me if I wanted to work on Saturday. I said, you know what? I actually want one off. I usually do work every Saturday. But so tonight the girls have been missing me. Obviously, I've been gone and out of town. I'm going to sleep with them tonight in the living room. We got a little slumber party sleepover and let Mama get some sleep by herself. She's been taking good care of the kiddos when I was gone, and also babysitting some other people's kids during the week. And she is ready for some vacation, or not some vacation, but ready for some good night's sleep. So good for her. Church on Sunday. We got the primary program going on. It's been hard to stay up to date on all the sports stuff for being out of town and really paying attention to all that stuff that I was doing. So Craig took over on Tuesday. Hopefully you liked his episode. He'll be back on Fridays with me whenever Friday Night Lights is gone, and Jeff will be on whenever he can. But for right now, it's just me on Friday and me and Craig on Tuesday, and Craig will do his weekly hockey hat trick on Thursdays. If you like the NHL, Craig will get on here and give you a updated segment each week for the NHL. We have a lot of things going on. We got a lot of sports going on, and it's hard to fit every sport in here. The NBA, I didn't even really talk about. They're only like 2 games in. The Mavericks lost the other night to the Suns. They gave up a 20-point lead, but they were on the road, and I feel really good what Christian Wood went out there and scored 16 straight points. That was a good game by him. Tough loss to the Suns, but I figure they play next. I think they play tomorrow night or tonight. I'm not sure. But then the NBA's kicked off. Lakers are 0-2. Kawhi Leonard's back, but not much has happened. It's still too early to tell on the NBA anyways, and we got a long road ahead of us. But all right, guys. Well, that's going to be your episode today. It's episode 163, NFL Week 7 edition. Give you the headlines of the week and everything like that. Guys, I hope you enjoy your weekend. I'm going to. Sorry. I had to take a drink when I was losing my voice. This is a pretty cool cup I got. This is I Choose Safe by Choice. Little cool 20-ounce RITC cup I got from the trip. But enjoy your weekend, guys. God bless, and remember to keep it outspoken.